But you'll be pleased to know that I am running Windows on a Mac. So we're going to do some stuff. Classic Microsoft style. I've got about 186 slides to get through, 20 minutes. I thought I'd bore you all completely senseless with just the usual Microsoft diatribe about what we do. Let's kill it, shall we? Let's not do that. What I really want to do is start from scratch. My wife works for one of the college groups, and she started there a couple of years ago. She teaches high needs learners, and on day 2 of her employment, she was told that she was losing 3 learning support assistants for pupils that had learning differences. One of them ended up with a crime record because he was so frustrated with college, and the other 2 are not doing brilliantly either. So that's my personal part of why I took on the accessibility role for higher education. My day job is really to look after cybersecurity, governance, compliance, Office and Windows. I promise you, this is not a Microsoft sales pitch. You have this stuff. I just need more ambassadors, please. This stuff is free. My wife came home last night, opened up her work laptop, Office 2013. No, no, no. Please, God, no. Office 2019 is out. It's got a ton of stuff in it. We have to convince organisations to keep current, please, because there's a ton of stuff. Okay, right. What are we going to do? Blank presentation. Who creates PowerPoint presentations? 2 hours. 1 hour, 50 minutes on the background, 10 minutes on the content, yeah? Oh, look at that. I'm done. This is brilliant. Oh, no, I've got 10 minutes to do the content. Let's go. Okay, we're going to do a title. There's an event. Okay, that's looking good. Going to add a new slide. Okay, what should we do? One note. Translation. Quick. Something like that. Fine. Right. So we put some points in there. But what I'm going to do now is go to design, and right over the far side, I'm just going to go to design ideas, and it's going to generate some views. We can have that one, pictures, that sort of stuff, different colour schemes, no work. Look at that, nice and simple. You know, Danny's a course manager. She's taken over a couple of courses. She's inherited the prehistoric PowerPoint 97 slides, which were built way back when, which are not only out of date, but are also a massive cybersecurity threat because of the malware that can sit underneath. We have to get current. So what this is doing is just proving that there's some choice. This stuff is really easy to do. We've just done that in 2 seconds. How long have we got? 17 minutes? Okay, right. Okay, let's do this. 20 means chat, 25 minutes show, 40 minutes PowerPoint. Okay, go back into design ideas. I'm hoping, I did this the other day, and it should come back with a timeline. Damn, we might have to put some years in. Okay, different. I'll come back to that one. But you get the idea that, you know, what we're really trying to do is get people current so that they can bring this stuff up to date, so that it just makes it easier to use. You know, I love all the ideas about 10 analytical points about legislation that needs to be investigated and stuff. I try to focus on the outcome, and the outcome is driving a better experience for students. So that's one thing that I want to show you. That's PowerPoint. The other thing I'd like to show you, if you don't mind, we've sort of got to here. Go to slideshow. There has been a ton of investment in things like AI. You know, we acquired Skype as a consumer business for a very strategic reason. It's now the underpinning voice technology of Microsoft Teams, also the video as well. But we acquired a massive artificial intelligence engine that had been doing transcription, translation for many years. That's why we acquired it. So what we've done is we've taken some of those tools and we've put them into PowerPoint. I started in the education team at Microsoft just over 18 months ago. No, I'm not going to do Danish. And if any of you know my colleague, Joel Bloomfield, Joel said to me, Ian, welcome to the education team. We're going to Wales and we're going to present to 126 IT managers. I want you to show translation. I didn't know Welsh was in the translation option. But what this will do, let me take that, okay? It's going to connect to the internet, it's going to download a library, and then when we start presenting, I will start talking with a microphone and it will show the transcription. We'll come back to that because it's going to take a couple of minutes just to download that presentation. Okay. Another piece that I'd like to show you, I was having a look at the web content guidelines. We spoke a lot about transcription. We are very lucky that we have this service available today. These services are not always available. Okay? They're very prestigious, they're very accurate. But what we are seeing is a significant increase in use of these types of technologies. This is my colleague, Hector, no, that's my colleague, Hector Minto, that's the different screen. Who's ever seen Hector present? Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal presenter. I aspire to be like him one day. But he's recorded some videos. And if we play them, you can see that we've got the closed captions that are coming up on the screen as he's speaking. You can also see that over on the right-hand side, we've got the flow of the transcription. Picking up on the last presentation about the accuracy of transcription, this is completely editable. So you can go back in, and if there are words that are wrong, then you can just edit them and make the text script right. You'll also see under this that there is Hector's face. On this one, Hector is the only presenter. If you give me a couple of minutes, let's have a look. There we go. We're going through some training. We do our quarterly standard of business conduct training. So effectively, we've got a number of presenters in this screen. You can see lots of different faces. We're going to start presenting. If I hit pause and if I go to people, I get a list of the people that are in the video. So it's using facial recognition, it's taking the facial recognition and it's aligning it to what they are saying. To me, this is a really useful tool. Sitting on the bus, headphones in, sitting on the tube, headphones in. I like the quiet carriage on trains. I can either have my headphones in or I can just read this text. So again, it's just another tool that I'd really ask that you consider using because it's part of what you have as your relationship with Microsoft. Coming out of that, let's go back into that stream. Okay? So it's probably our version of YouTube, but I would say the education version and the enterprise version as well.
Excuse me, is it part of Office 365?
Yes, it is. Thank you. Well, great question. Why didn't I say that at the beginning? All of this is part of Office 365. Rewind 7 minutes, 4 seconds. So we go back into Windows. How's it doing? Right, we can start subtitles. Microphone. Dum, dum, dum. Is anyone here from Oxford? Oh no. Okay, I was doing the same event with Oxford last week, and I'll show you something in a minute that was quite good fun. Okay, start subtitles. Okay, there is a QR code there that if you flash that with the Microsoft Translator app, then you can actually have a personal transcription of what I'm saying downloaded to your mobile phone. So everything that I'm saying can actually be kept once the lecture has finished. But hopefully you're seeing that it's quite accurate considering this is connecting to the internet using the cloud and then pulling down a transcription of what I'm saying. So I'll mute that. Okay, probably a couple of mistakes in there, but in the transcript we can go back and edit those and publish it out. But again, it's part of PowerPoint. It's a plug-in for PowerPoint that's free. Okay, so that's another tool that can hopefully add a bit of value to that. Where are we going to go next? We're diving around. Let's go back into Windows. Right. Okay. I tell you what, Deborah, I wish you weren't here. I'm probably going to embarrass myself now. So what happened was, I went onto Wikipedia and I pulled down Oxford's history. They have quite a checkered history. They've had some bad stuff going on with some bad people in their long past, but it's quite interesting to read. So what I did was, I went into OneNote and just pulled this in from Wikipedia, and then I thought, right, let's have a look at Immersive Reader. Who's ever played with Immersive Reader? Brilliant, thank you. So this is a tool that everybody uses. I use this when I'm tired. Late at night, I wear glasses anyway, so my eyes get tired. So effectively, what I do is I just go into Immersive Reader. I can pick the size of the font. I can increase the font spacing. I can pick the font. And then I can pick the color of the background that really suits me. And then click on the next one. And I can click on syllables and pick out all the word types. And then the last piece, I can create a line focus view. So again, this is a free tool that's built into OneNote, Word, PowerPoint, etc., that really just helps with that experience. You can then click, and I won't do it here, but if you click that, you will actually get the page read back to you. So again, some things that can get done. There's a female voice, there's a male voice. The reason why I can't show you some stuff in Windows, we're just about to add 25 voices to these tools as well. So we've been through and tested a whole load of stuff. So hopefully a bit of choice as we go into different languages as well. Okay. Hit escape. There's one here just clicking along. I completely agree. I heard a horror story of an organisation that had paid £150,000 to an accessibility consultancy to go and teach them about accessibility tools. And we met with that consultancy, and there was no mention of Microsoft. And we spoke to them, we said, why don't you talk about Microsoft? I quote, because we don't earn anything from it. So please, 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 just be mindful of exploring the tools that we give free of charge as part of the Office subscription that you have with us, and we're really appreciative of that as well. There's a couple of tools, though. I can click Accessibility Checker, and it's just going to do some of the basic checks and come back and make recommendations. Okay, missing page title, damn, there is. Okay, so I didn't put a title at the top of the page. Okay, Immersive Reader we've done. Good. Translate the entire page. Who has got a high density of overseas students in their university? It's an expanding market, isn't it? Did you see the latest survey where some of the overseas universities are starting to creep up the classification scale? So, it is a global economy for universities. So again, what we can do is we can take and we can translate that page. Let's go into French. Okay, and then it will just translate the whole page into French. So again, is it by definition an accessibility tool? Probably not. Does it help make the experience for someone way better? Yes, it does. And again, it's just part of OneNote and a free tool that you can use. I'm also conscious that we're rattling through stuff as well. So one of the things I do want to show you, it's not there, it's actually here. Who's from Huddersfield? Do you mind if I use the Huddersfield website? Okay. I did listen to you earlier and I've done it and I just thought he's either going to kill me or he's not, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you. Go on. Right. What I'd like to show you is that it's taken us over 2 years to do this. I can't believe it. We bought GitHub, okay, so develop a website where a load of code gets exchanged, and there's some bits that people can pull off and go and onward develop things. We then published something called Accessibility Insights, and I completely agree that there are so many tools out there and they'll do things to varying degree and they'll have different capabilities. But what we did was we made Accessibility Insights available free of charge. It's a plugin, so it goes into Chrome, Edge, or into Documents. And then effectively what you do is you pick on the web page that you want to check. Let's close that one down. I just got on the phone call.
They're off now.
Are they? Good, right, okay. It's going to kill me for this. There's 3 different levels you can do. You can do a fast pass, you can do an in-depth analysis, and it will give you some feedback. If we do the fast pass, then effectively it's going to pick out the failure, so 26 failures, not bad. It's a very graphical website as well, so you could argue that, you know, some of those images are just for appeal as opposed to relevance. But what it will do is then pick out things that are relevant and the standard that they adhere to. Again, it's a free tool, it's a plugin. It might just be somewhere to start. If you're trying to build a business case for investment to say we need to do this, it's something that you can use and execute and build into the business case as well. I've seen it used 3 times for that. So you can do that as well. Huddersfield. Okay, he's already done his. Go to Google. Is it hud.ac.uk? Yeah. Okay, appreciate you letting us do this as well. Thank you. Again, click on the button. We're going to do a fast pass. Okay, couple to do. You know, again, it's around colour contrast, that type of thing. So there's a ton of images on the Huddersfield website which promotes the brand and the imagery and Huddersfield itself. So you have to pick out the relevance of what we're actually analysing. But again, it will give you some guidelines. The nice thing is it actually cuts straight to the chase and tells you the clause that it adheres to. Okay. So just some things there.
What's the name of this tool, sorry?
It is, if you use Google or Bing and look up Accessibility Insights. Okay, and then it's a plugin. Please do use it. One of the things that I've put together is a LinkedIn point drive. It's going through Sealer, who are our legal department. My commitment is to get this to Deborah and Fiona by the end of the week. There's been a little bit of a delay because we're updating some of the documentation. But you will have access to a point drive with some URLs from us around where to get further information on these things. So my commitment is by the weekend you'll have that. Okay. So we've done some stuff in PowerPoint. We've shown accessibility. We've shown screen reader, translator, transcription. I'm going to pause there because I tend to do about 5 or 6 points and then we get brain explosion. But what I would encourage you to do is really just have a play. As you go into these different menus, the one that I'm going to ask you to focus on, because this is a real passion of mine, are Nottingham in the room? Love working with Nottingham. I was up with about 38 of the IT team, taking them through the new tools in Office 2019 and 2016. That was a really insightful day. I tell you what, if I had £1 for the comments of, I didn't know it did that, I could probably retire next week. And that's really where we want to get to, is just helping you become aware of those tools. Please look at this and become aware of this. We are putting a ton of training into these applications now. We are very passionate about easing the stress on the IT teams. It's not working, phone IT. It's not working, phone IT. I'm trying to be a custodian and almost a stakeholder in the self-help type of culture. Instead of automatically picking up the phone to IT, encouraging users of our applications to click on help and to go to some of the videos which give insights into the new features. Ian, that doesn't do anything for accessibility, and you're right. But to me, what it does do is starts to ease pressure in parts of the system that allow us to focus on the things that are really relevant. And if we can encourage people to do self-help and get to use the applications, resource can be allocated to more important things like dealing with the accessibility challenges. So I really am going to stop there and thank you for your time and open out to questions.
We have met.
We have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Julian Dobson, Goldsmiths. It's not so much questions, just comments. The training resources you showed, we've been linking to those rather than doing our own. I think they're fantastic. Really good.
Thank you. What can we do better? Give it some thought.
I'll give it some thought, because I find
it,
maybe some, with the quick guides, maybe making this one sheet. So I've just been printing out, but I think that one page is fantastic. Comments about, I think the problem we have, I'm really aware of this, I'm in the IT team, we're aware, it is a problem publicising it. And what I find is I was at an accessibility workshop at Goldsmiths, and the accessibility consultants there were talking about all the free tools available. Of course, they mentioned Google and Hub and all these things. And I had to say, these are great, but please be aware you have it already. So people just, it's getting that message out that they do already have it. And it's quite difficult to do, I think.
One more here. I think what we might do after a couple of questions is you can have Ian over lunch, because I'm worried about not having enough time to...
Sure.
Okay, just a quick question. John Smith from University of Highlands and Islands. The closed captioning you demonstrated there, is that available in Skype for Business?
No, not to an extent. Now, I'm going to come off the fence. I'm really sorry and thank you. You couldn't have mentioned that word at a better time. I am the ex-Skype for Business product manager. I want Skype for Business out of higher education as quickly as possible. It's a brilliant product, but we're seeing so many benefits to do with Teams that we do those consultation workshops. If you want me to do one with you, I'd be more than happy to.
We'd be really interested in that, but we also just are going through our governance and compliance issues with Teams just to make sure that that's cool for us to use.
Sure. Ian Wool at Microsoft.com.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
I've just got a comment to make at this point, because we're working on a pretty much weekly basis with Microsoft at the minute. Ian and I are on the phone to each other every other day at the moment, because we're very keen to make sure that the publicity that you're talking about for these tools, because we're very impressed with them. Of course, ucisa has to be provider agnostic, but these are excellent tools. So Ian will be providing some guidance so that you've got something that you can actually follow, because there's some great stuff there. I've learned things I didn't know today, and I want to now play with them, but I need some guidance to do that, and Ian's going to provide that for us. But we're also planning that we're working with Microsoft conference very shortly. We are literally just trying to finalise a venue now, and Microsoft are going to demonstrate all of these techniques for you, because we believe there's so much that none of us are using as yet. So we're going to keep that as a series, and we're looking at a strategic partnership with Microsoft to make sure you've got, free of charge, as far as possible, as much information as you can have to help you get this out and cascade it through your institutions.
Good call. Thank you.